I mean, his tweets have been about having more free speech, which to me means having more scatological tweets by people who don't like him. Free speech has been, I think, what you have on Twitter, except for the former president. So I don't know exactly, David, what he's getting at, because there's more free speech than you could use on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I don't. By the way, that's a shared viewpoint at this point. Nobody quite understands exactly what this may be, other than what it is. I know, genius, right? Which is an investment. Somehow he perhaps thinks that there's a benefit to owning 9+% for him in terms of maybe the economics. Although, again, when you're as wealthy as he is, you do look for the other motive that might be.
Right,
might be there, and I'm not quite sure what it is. It's passive. We should point that out again. It's a 13G. It's not a D. It's not something you would see from a Carl Icahn or somebody you would consider to be a true activist, where that might presage a fight for board seats and the like. This is simply a passive investment as of now. That can change, but you need to take it for what it is.
But I think, Carl, the most exciting thing about it is that Twitter's not done well. Versus other, well, no, the others are all down right now. But Twitter, I think a lot of people see what Twitter could be. I remember when Mark Benioff, what he saw it could be, a great place for ideas, but also DM being effective. And there's no doubt about it. We can get to his number of cars that he managed to make this quarter, which are incredible given COVID. But the guy's a winner. And right now, the people who are at Twitter need more of a winning ad. It's kind of a team that has not made the playoffs in many, many years. And that's not – Elon makes the playoffs in anything he does.
By the way, to that point, thanks to Bespoke, today is going to be the fourth time since the IPO that it's gapped up 20 from the prior close. Only 4 times.
Wow.
And as for the stake, if you value it at Friday's price is worth $2.8 billion. It's about 1% of his net worth, right?
Yeah. Which is just stunning, isn't it? $280 billion. Obviously, the wealthiest man in the world, Tesla itself.
Are you going toward what Senator Warren? Is you going to Senator Warren?
No, I'm not. Listen, we talk about Musk a lot because he, in part, he creates news, but also because he is the most single iconic businessman in the world. I mean, it's beyond business. I mean, he actually envisions things and then makes them happen. I sit here at this desk next to you day after day. He thinks, gee, why not go to Mars? And he's going to do it.
What do you like? He's like RF Kennedy.
Sell 1.5 million electric vehicles this year, and he makes it happen. Why not bore tunnels under? I don't know. You can't doubt him.
Deploy satellites and get the internet to the far reaches of the planet.
Right.
Reuse rockets. I mean, it can go on and on.
It goes on and on. But I mean, 20 years ago, if he'd said, "I'm going to do all these things," you'd look at the guy like, "Yeah, okay, great, sure, go knock yourself out there, buddy."
Yeah. When I went to see him get the Person of the Year, and he would only talk about space. And at one point he said, raise your hand if you've been in space. Guy next to me raises his hand. He says, how was it? He says, that's pretty great. He said, well, everybody goes to space. Everybody. I mean, can you imagine? Who would ever say, this guy's something?
No, he is unique. Doesn't mean he's any less miserable than a lot of other people on the planet, but he is a unique individual.
I think he's the best. I think he and Jensen Huang are the two smartest people I've ever met.
Wow.
Jensen from NVIDIA.
Yes.
Smarts. It's more than smarts.
All right. Well, that's it.
Intelligence is great, but it's a lot more than that.
Okay. Yeah, I know smart means. I'm not talking about book smart. I'm talking about trying to dream and then execute.
Right.
Going
for it. Going for it.
Right. Going for it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. By the way, deliveries, Jim mentioned, 310K over the weekend, which you may have seen. Record high, below the street by a touch. Shanghai obviously hurt, Jim.
Right. Yeah. Well, look, I think that what happens when
now we're talking about Tesla, guys. So
what happens when he does it is that there are all these faux surprises. I mean, frankly, it was not a surprise. It was a little bit less than the surprise. But then people can say, when you consider the lockdown in Shanghai, you consider COVID, it's an incredible number. So the stock goes higher than just this.
And Berlin's coming online.
Yes.
Austin, a new factory as well. Conceivably,
2 million cars, right? He's going for 2 million.
Right, and going to deliver at least on up 50% year over year.
But Steve Scher's not going with his.
No, well,
Hertz.
they have a deal already. Steve was a guest on Squawk Box, but don't they have a Tesla deal as well at Hertz or no?
I thought they did, but he was really talking a lot about Polestar, the Swedish entry. I love by the way, I looked at the note they put out and had giant pictures, Steve.